Have you ever had somebody break a promise to you or do something that you had asked them not to do? Try to think about a specific situation. How did it feel when they treated you like that? When someone betrays us, even if it's just over something small, it's always going to hurt a lot. And one of the reasons for this is that, among other things, betrayal says a lot about how other people see us, and it affects how we understand the relationships that we have with them. If you ask someone not to do something, and they do it anyway, what are their actions telling you? They're telling you that they don't really like the way that you like to do things, and that they think they can do it better. They're telling you that if they had to choose, they would rather take care of themselves than do what's good for you. They're telling you that you're just not as important as they are. And while we may not be completely aware of all these things in the moment, on some level we do recognize that we've been deeply disrespected and that we've been rejected, and that's part of why being betrayed hurts so much and can make us so angry. When God created the first humans, He gave them more than anybody could ever ask for. God gave them life, He gave them each other, He gave them a paradise to live and work in. And with all of this, God only gave them one rule. In the midst of all that they had to enjoy, there was one tree whose fruit they were not to eat. And even though that they had all that they could ever need already, they broke this rule and ate the fruit that God had forbidden. When they did this, their relationship with God was changed dramatically, and instead of being God's children and His friends, they became His enemies. This act of disobedience was the first sin. The first humans did this, and every human since has done it as well. So we've all been made enemies of God. Now, it's common to hear people say, what's the big deal? It was just a piece of fruit. There's no reason for anyone to get angry over that. But think back to what we just talked about. God wasn't angry because a piece of fruit went missing. God was angry because the humans that He had made had defied Him and disrespected Him. By eating the fruit, they had told God that they didn't like the way that He had set things up. They showed God that they didn't trust Him, and that since they thought they knew better, they wanted to be in charge instead. Now, if a friend disobeys you and tells you that they know better than you, it hurts for a while, but you may eventually forget about it. And who knows, maybe it turns out that they were right, and they did know better than you. But sinning against another person and sinning against God are two completely different things. When we sin against God, we're telling the Creator and King of the universe that we don't respect His authority or His rules, and we're trying to put ourselves in His place. When you do that to a king, it's called high treason, and it's a crime that's so serious that historically it's often carried the death penalty for the person who commits it. If trying to overthrow a temporary human ruler who makes mistakes is bad enough to get you killed, then it shouldn't be surprising that trying to overthrow a perfect and infinite God is going to carry a punishment that's perfect and infinite as well. This eternal punishment happens in a place called hell, and it's something that all humans have earned. One thing for us to keep in mind about this is that if God's the one carrying out this punishment, then we don't have any hope of avoiding hell unless God Himself chooses to do something about it.